Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's me, 80s444. Today, guys, we're doing our match day 5 predictions at all the UEFA competitions. So, we finally reached the penultimate match day, guys. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting. So, like I said, guys, if you're new out, consider hitting the subscribe button down below. I kind of emphasize how much it means to me if you subscribe to the channel. You know, we're getting close to 1,000 subscribers. I believe right now, as of now, I'm at 989. So, please hit that subscribe button down below so I can reach 1,000. And obviously, please watch the full video. If you make it all the way to the end of the video, I will tell you a secret phase that you will only understand if you only make it to the end of the video. So, also help me get my watch hours up right now. I'm at 2.6K watch hours, and I want you guys to help me get a 4K by the end of the year. Okay, there will be timestamps in the description below as always. So, let's start with the very first game here. Okay, let me just put it down, and obviously there will be some editing features to make the screen to make you interested. Okay, so the first minute. So 1 minute into this video. So we got our first game here, Sevilla versus Copenhagen. I feel like Sevilla have somewhat improved since their new coach. I think under Jorge Sampaoli, they've been looking more competent. They've been looking more of a team. I still have question marks over the defense, which is my big concern. However, I do think because they're at home for the game, I think Sevilla should win this game. I mean, Copenhagen, they're not really that good, in my opinion, if I'm being completely honest. And I feel as though that Sevilla should win this game. So I'm going to go with the 1-0 win. Very scrappy win, but nonetheless the win. Salzburg-Chelsea. This is definitely one to look out for. The last time the two teams faced against each other was a 1-1 draw. And since then, Chelsea have been really looking good. I've been really impressed with Chelsea so far. As for Salzburg, they've also been really good too. This is a huge game for them for that Europa League spot potentially, or even the round of 16, depending on what Milan does. And this is a very tricky one. It's very difficult to play in Salzburg, and I'm going to go with the draw, which I think for Chelsea wouldn't be a bad result as long as Chelsea don't lose this game. I think they're pretty much in the clear because right now they're on 7 points because they did a double over Milan. And they got a point away at Salzburg. So as long as Chelsea beats Dinamo Zagreb at home, which they should, and if they can get a point here, they'll be 4. They'll be 11 points, and that would be enough for them to advance. And likely will be enough for them to top the group. So I'm going to go with the 1-1 draw on this one. I'm going to go with the 1-1 draw here. Next we got Benfica Juventus. Benfica, they've been looking great. Benfica have been amazing so far this season. They just won away at Porto this last Friday in a very hostile stadium, and a stadium which they actually don't do very well in. And yes, I understand Porto were down to 10 men, which is very difficult. Obviously, when you're down at 10 men, it's difficult to, grab the win and everything like that. You're going to be very more defensive than usual. But you have to give credit to Juventus. Benfica, because they've been looking great. As for Juventus, once again, they've been also very disappointing. Like, I know they've been beating up teams they should be, but when it comes to games that they are actually supposed to challenge for, they tend to disappoint. And guys, I'm going to go for a Benfica win on this one. I've just not been impressed with Juventus whatsoever. And guys, I think Benfica's going to do the double. I think they'll do the double. Or if not do the double, I think Benfica will get a good result. I don't see Juventus beating Benfica. I just don't see it. I just don't see Juventus doing it in this one. So I am going to go with the 2-1 win for Benfica on this one. Do the double over Juventus and so forth. So yeah, like I said, man, Benfica, man, this team is looking fire, man. Schmidt has done an incredible job with this team. Some players I really like from the team are Anthony Silva. I like Rafa Silva. I also really like Vladimir as well. Very good goalkeeper. And Enzo Fernandez. As for Juventus, man, Costa's been in decent form for them. They've been looking good. As well as the fact that Juventus is actually kind of looking somewhat decent. But as I said, in big games, they really underperform. Next we have is PSG versus Maccabi Haifa, guys. I'm going to go with PSG to win this game. I'm going to go with the 2-0 win for PSG. I don't think it'll be as flattering, as convincing because of the fact that, but so far, I do expect PSG to win the game. They're just enough quality. As for Maccabi Haifa, with all due respect, I just don't really see them getting anything here on this game. But they can feel themselves proud because for the fact that they actually managed to beat Juventus at home, which is very impressive. Next we got Dortmund versus Manchester City. I'm going to go with Manchester City to win this game. I feel like Manchester City are just on brilliant form this season. And they just have a deep squad, and they're just looking good. They're just looking good in all competitions. Yes, their defense is a bit leaky, which is actually one of my biggest criticisms of Man City. I don't think their defense is as strong as previous seasons. But as I said, Man City just have too much quality. I know Dortmund made it very difficult for them last time around, but I just feel as though that Man City should win this game, and so forth. So I'm going to go with another 2-1 win again on this one. Played safe. And so forth. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. Next one was Leipzig versus Real Madrid. Real Madrid just been amazing. Real Madrid just looks so good, even without their star talisman Karim Benzema. This team is playing fantastic. This team is playing like a real complete unit, and I've been really impressed with them. As for Leipzig, they've been very hot and cold this season. They've been very underwhelming at times this season. They've been decent sometimes. It's a very tricky team to gauge and so forth. So I could see maybe Leipzig getting something from this game because Real Madrid obviously have already qualified to the knockout stage and likely will top the group. I don't think it's officially confirmed. Actually, is it officially confirmed? Let me check Real Madrid real quick. Because I know they tied their previous game against Shakhtar, so they're on 10 points. And let me see. I think it might be, or if it's not, it's going to be very close. Let me just check hold up real quick. UEFA Champions League. Let me see. Real Madrid, not quite, but it's almost there. It's almost there because, yeah, I mean, let's be real, man. Real Madrid should, they might rotate a bit in this game. I think this will be a close game, but I'm going to go with Real Madrid just to barely edge this away. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Real Madrid. Very scrappy, because I think Leipzig will be very defensive against them like they did last time, and Real Madrid required late goals to beat them, so I'm going to go with that as well. Celtic versus Shakhtar Donetsk. I'm going to go Celtic to win this game because they're at home for the game. Actually, yeah. Actually, this is a tricky one, guys. Tricky. Do I go with Celtic win? Because I was originally going to go with Celtic win, but Celtic have been disappointing in the Champions League, guys. They've been disappointing. So I'm going to go with the draw for this one. A 1-1 draw. I'll play it safe and go for a draw. Next wave is Dinamo Zagreb versus Milan. Very, very big game in the Champions League for Milan. Obviously, Milan is third right now in the group because they picked up the win against Salzburg at home. They tied away to Salzburg. They beat Dinamo at home. So they're on 4 points. And right now, Milan's in a bit of a tricky position because they have to beat Salzburg at home. And Salzburg is on 6 points. So it's a really tricky position for Milan. And that if they have to tie this game. And it's going to be a crazy atmosphere, the final matchday game. So Milan needs to get a draw. Because if they lose this game, Milan's in big trouble. Milan is in huge trouble of not making the round of 16. And this is away in Dinamo Zagreb, keep in mind. And Dinamo is very, very good at home. I am going to go for a draw for this one. I feel like Milan, with their defensive issues and everything like that, with Mike Magnan pretty much ruled out for the remainder of this year. He will miss the World Cup. Milan defensively looks still a bit like they don't look as strong as they normally would. So I'm going to go with the draw. This may be good for them, may not be good for them. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw on this one. A 2-2 draw on this one. Moving on to Wednesday games, we have our Inter versus Victoria Pleasant. Obviously, as a Barca fan, I'm hoping Victoria Pleasant can help us out, but really, honestly, guys, I just don't see it. I will say this, though. I could see Inter screwing things up, but in the sense of not scoring. Because what I think is going to happen is this. I feel the game could be 0-0 for so long in the game. And then, because I just don't see Pleasant scoring. I don't see Pleasant winning this game. I think Inter will win this. I'm going to say 2-0. 2-0 win for Inter Milan. Because over the weekend, they did look somewhat defensively frail against Fiorentina. But I think they rotated some of their team for this game. And they won 4-3. So, I believe, who was that? I forgot his name. This Armenian guy scored the late winner for them. Mkhitaryan. I think it's Mkhitaryan. Yep, that's the guy name. So, yeah. Anyways, next we have is Club Brugge versus FC Porto. Club Brugge have already qualified to the round of 16. And let's see if they can top this group. And I think they haven't officially topped the group, but they've almost put themselves. As for FC Porto needs to get a result here, man. This is a huge, huge game for this one. And I'm going to go with the draw. I don't feel like Club Brugge will be able to do that magic again because I think Porto have somewhat improved, but I don't think Porto will win the game just because of how good Club Brugge have been in the Champions League. So I'm going to go with the draw for this one. Next we have is Frankfurt versus Marseille. I am going to go with a draw for this game. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go with Marseille to win this game. I'm going to go with Marseille to win this game just because I feel like Marseille have been really, really good, and their 2 wins over Sporting have really convinced me. But then again, it might just be Sporting tax, so it's very hard to gauge this one. The both teams are kind of like, uh, um, so forth. So as I said, with Marseille, man, it's a very tricky one to call. I think I'm going to play it safe, though. I'm going to go with the draw. I was going to go for originally for Marseille to win, but I feel like Frankfurt will do something here. They'll get a draw here, I think. A 1-1 draw. Tottenham versus Sporting. Tottenham better win this game. If Tottenham do not beat Sporting, they should be question marks because Sporting beat them in the reverse fixture. Tottenham is looking terrible right now. Defensively, they're conceding so many goals. I think Tottenham will barely win 2-1. Barely win 2-1. Okay, next we have is Barcelona versus Bayern Munich, guys. This game is not even important. This game is very meaningless in my opinion. Barcelona, I don't even know how seriously they're going to take this game. It's very difficult to predict this game because we don't know because remember, guys, Inter is the early kickoff, right? So it's not going to be the same time. So we'll already know what our fate will be in the Champions League just 30 minutes before this match even begins. And so this match really doesn't really mean a whole lot for Barca. Now, off the off chance that Inter draw points in Victoria Pleasant, that Barcelona can maybe do something. But even still, with that said, I still don't see Barcelona winning the game, even if Victoria Pleasant help us out. So I'm gonna go with the draw. I just feel like Barcelona, Bayern Munich. I just feel as though Bayern will they'll rotate a bit because it's the Camp Nou, and like I said, guys, I just don't see Barcelona beating Bayern. Bayern just owns this, man. Bayern just owns it. I'm afraid to say. Next we have is Atletico versus Leverkusen, guys. Atletico better win this game. Let me just say this right now. Leverkusen have been shambolic, horrible this season. And if Atletico cannot beat them at home this season, there should be a lot of questions asked. So I'm going to go with Atletico to win 2-0 and to get revenge for the first leg defeat. Next we have is Ajax versus Liverpool. I'm going to go with the draw for this one. Liverpool are not been great on the road this season. They've been pretty horrible for the most part. They only got one away win, which is against Rangers. And we all know how crap Rangers have been in the Champions League this season. And I know Ajax's home form is also very shaky as well, which is why I'm going to go for a draw. I feel like a draw is a safe pick here and so forth. So I'm going to go with the draw. And the final game we have here is Napoli versus Rangers. I'm going to go with Napoli to win 3-0 against Rangers. So those are my Champions League predictions. Remember, guys, to join the prediction league right here. As you guys can see, this is the prediction league. Make sure you guys join it. Join my league. I'm currently ninth in my own league, which is kind of sad. But, it is what it is. So join this link. I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys to join. Anyways, I think that's enough on the Champions League. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the Europa League, guys. The Europa League. So let's go ahead and move on to the Europa League, guys. So first game we have is Union Berlin versus Braga. I'm going to go with, for this one, it's a tricky one because Braga has been great this season. They've been really, really good. Union Berlin have also been good too as well. And I'm going to go with a draw. I feel like a draw is a safe pick here and so forth. So I'm going to go with the draw. Malmo versus St. Galois. I'm going to go with St. Galois to win 2-0. Malmo has just been horrible this season. I know it's a home game for Malmo, and this is generally where Malmo tends to do better at, but I've just not been convinced with Malmo, to be quite honest with you. And I think St. Galois is going to win this. Ludogorets versus Real Betis. I expect Real Betis to win this game. It's going to be close because it's on the road, so it won't be as, convincing perhaps, but I do think Real Betis will manage to navigate their way through and get a win, which is why I'm going to go for a 1-0 win on the road. Then we got AEK, Larnaca versus Dynamo Kiev. I'm going to go with the draw. Dynamo Kiev have been very disappointing in Europa League this season. I cannot believe I predicted them to top the group. Probably one of my worst predictions I made, and so forth. I think AEK is going to get the draw in this game. Then we got Fenerbahce versus Rennes. I'm going to go Fenerbahce. I'm going to go for another draw for this one. I was originally going with Fenerbahce. Actually, I'm going to go Fenerbahce to win this game because it's in Turkey. I'm going to go for them to win 3-2. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. And I think this will be enough for them to top the group. Next week, guys, PSV versus Arsenal. A very interesting game. Obviously, if Arsenal gets a point here on the road, I believe they will top the group. I didn't get to see Arsenal's game against PSV, but they were fantastic. Getting the win, Granit Xhaka scoring the goal. Arsenal did just tie today, against Southampton, 1-1 draw. And once again, Xhaka scored for them. So I think for this one, guys, it's going to be very, very interesting, but I still do. I think PSV is going to get a draw in this game. I think PSV will get a draw because it's at home for PSV. It'll be a very, very cagey game, and I think it'll be a draw. A 1-1 draw on this one. So, yeah. Next, we got Zurich versus Bodo Glimt. I'm going to go with Bodo Glimt to win. Zurich have not been great this season, and I'm going to go with Bodo to win 2-1. I believe Zurich's like bottom their Swiss league, which is really disappointing for them. Indeed. Then we got Lazio versus Michelin, guys. Lazio, man. Lazio, I don't know what they're doing in this group because they've been very disappointing, guys. Michelin, on the other hand, I honestly could see Michelin doing anything out, but because it's at Rome, I don't see Lazio really getting smashed. But I don't know if Lazio is going to win. It's a tricky one, guys, because Michelin have really been impressing me, guys. So I'm going to go for a draw on this one. I'm going to go with a 0-0 draw, actually. I haven't gone with any 0-0 draws, and I can assure you there will probably be some 0-0s. Then we got Ferencváros versus Monaco. I'm going to go with... It's a tricky one because Ferencváros won on the road last time in Matchday 2, I think. I think I'm going to go with a Monaco to win, but it's going to be very close. Scrappy 1-0 win. Oh, man, that's close. Crvena Zvezda versus Trabzonspor. I'm going to go Crvena Zvezda to win because our the home atmosphere is crazy. And I'm going to go Crvena Zvezda 3, Trabzonspor 1. Next we have is Nantes versus Quarterback. I'm going to go Quarterback to win 2-0. I just feel like Quarterback have been great in this group. Actually, I'm going to go with the draw. Actually, I'm going to go with the 0-0. No, I'm going to go with Freiburg versus Olympiacos. Freiburg to win 2-0. Olympiacos have been horrible this season, guys. Just not been good. Then we got HJK versus Roma. I'm going to go with Roma to win. I'm going to go with Roma to win 2-0. Ominia versus Real Sociedad. I'm going to go with Real Sociedad to win 3-0 on the road. And the Man United versus Sheriff. I'm going to go with Man United to win 2-0 at home. And I forgot to play my booster. I'm going to do my booster after this. Sturm versus Feyenoord. I'm going to go with Feyenoord to win 2-0. Actually, 1-0 win. I'm going to go with 1-0 win. Okay, let me play my booster real quick because I completely forgot to do my booster. So let me play my booster and which one I'm going to do for the Champions League. I think I'm going to do it with the PSG game. Any others I'm confident with? Not particularly. I think I'm going to do with that one in particular. Or actually, Napoli Rangers. I'm going to do it Napoli, actually. I'm very confident in Napoli. For the Europa League, which one I'm most confident with? I'm most confident with... Which one I'm most confident with, guys? I think I'm most confident with Man United. I think I'm going to say Man United. This one. Okay. So let's go see where I'm at the league before we move on, guys. So in the league, in my own league, let's see where I'm at. I am third in my own league. How many people are playing, though? That's a good question. So we have 8 people playing. So yeah, make sure you guys join the league. So 176 points. Very, very interesting there. I'm also third in the other league as well. So overall, I'm 4,620 rank. And how many points? So 176 for me in the Europa League and Champions League 165. And how about the Conference League? 136. I've not been great in this competition. Not been great. So anyways, we're going to move on to the Conference League. I'll send a link in the description below for my Europa League link. And now it's time for the Conference League. 19 minutes. Okay. So our first game here is Vaduz versus AZ Alkmaar. I'm going to go with AZ Alkmaar to win 3-1 on the road. I feel like AZ has just been great. They've just been amazing. Nice versus Partizan. I'm going to go Nice to barely win this game 2-1 at home. But it's going to be very close. Slovakia versus Caen. I'm going to go with Caen to win 2-1 on the road. Austria Wien versus Lech Poznan. I'm going to go with the 1-1 draw on this one. Villarreal versus HBR Shiva. I'm going to go with Villarreal to win 3-0 at home. Then Anderlecht versus FCSB. I'm going to go with Anderlecht to win this one because they're at home. But it's going to be very close, so I'm going to go with the 2-1 win. Fiorentina versus Istanbul Başakşehir. Now, Fiorentina is at home for this game. It's a very, very huge one, and Fiorentina needs to bounce back here if they want to top this group. And I think Fiorentina will. I think Fiorentina is going to win 1-0. I think it's going to be a very close game. Slovan Bratislava versus Punic. I'm going to go with a draw for this one. Okay. Basel versus Algaris. Basel should win this game. Basel should win. I think it'll be close, though. It won't be as straightforward as others would say, but I still expect Basel to win. Sivasspor versus CFR Cluj. I'm going to go with Sivasspor to win 2-0, actually. Actually, I'm going to go with 1-0. 1-0. I'm going to go with 1-0. Balkany versus Slavia Prague. I'm going to go with... Ooh, this is an interesting one. I'm going to go for an exciting game, guys. 2-2 draw. Like, Balkany's been great at home, and Slavia Prague, I don't think they're as good as they used to be. Shamrock versus Rovers versus Ghent. I'm going to go with Ghent to win 1-0 on the road. Djurgården versus Mold versus Djurgården. I think I'm going to go with a draw on this one. I feel like Mold will get something here because they're at home, but I don't think Mold will win because Djurgården's been really impressive. I've been impressed with them, guys. We get Dnipro 1 versus Appelen. I'm going to go Dnipro to win at home. They should win at home. And it's going to be very close, I think. I'm going to go with a 3-2 win. 3-2 win. West Ham versus Silkeborg. I'm going to go with West Ham to win 3-0 on this one. And Hearts versus RFS. I am going to go with Hearts to win 1-0. 1-0 indeed. So let me see where I'm at in my own league. Let's see where I'm at. Rank. And so my own league, guys, I'm third in my own league once again. Why am I always third, man? Why am I always third? So make sure you guys join this invite friends thing. I'll send the link in the description below for you guys to join. So hope you guys did enjoy this video, guys, going through all the Matchday 5 predictions. There were some really crazy good games to have here on this week. And I want you guys to participate in the leagues, okay? And if you made it all the way forward to this video, tell me, who do you think will score the most goals this week? Name me one player you think will score a hat-trick this week. Okay? So interesting to say. So yeah, actually I got a better question. Let me rephrase. Will anyone score a hat-trick this week in all competitions this week? In the Champions League, Conference League, Europa League? I'm going to say yes. I think someone will do in the Europa League. And potentially even the Conference League. I don't think anyone's going to do in the Champions League. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys comment down below your thoughts. Comments if you're new around here, consider the subscribe button down below. Like to be if you did enjoy. Make sure you guys check out my platforms in the description below. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.